The next presenter, who is from Jackson, New Jersey, a senior, journalism media studies major, and an anthropology minor, will share with you how you don't have to get it right the first time. Make some noise for Shawn Smith.
Whenever my friends introduce me to someone, the first thing that they always say is, guess how old he is? Most people guess I'm 22, 23 years old, but the truth is that I'm a 29-year-old undergraduate right here at Rutgers University. Thank you. I graduated high school in 2003, and I went to college. I changed my major 4 times in 3 semesters. I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do with my life, so I dropped out. First bump in the road to life. I got a job in retail. I started working just to pay my bills, but I wasn't happy. I started off as a stock manager, and I eventually worked my way up, slowly. And eventually I was a store manager. I was making decent money. I was able to pay my bills, but I still wasn't happy. I wasn't happy dealing with problems that I had no control over. People were coming to me with issues saying, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, and I couldn't do anything except say, here's your money back. So I quit. I wound up enlisting in the Air Force. I thought it was a great idea because my grandfather was in the Air Force. But in 2006, I lost both my mother and my grandmother. It was the hardest year of my life. I went through something that I don't think anyone should have to go through. And it was tough. It put me into a depression. A couple months later, as my enlistment date approached, I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. I realized that I was using my mom's passing as a crutch when I should have been looking at it as motivation. Just because she wasn't here doesn't mean that she wasn't still looking over me, that I still shouldn't try to make her proud. So I wound up at a crossroads. Was I going to stay going in retail, an easy job, which I knew paid my bills and did what I needed to do, or was I going to take that step and chase my dreams? So I felt like Superman, and I went for it. Unfortunately, life doesn't always work out like you plan, and I fell flat on my face. I found out I have asthma. You can't have asthma in the military. That was my second bump in the road to life. So I came back, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I felt like a failure. And then I remembered someone had told me, when he was inventing the light bulb, Thomas Edison was once asked, why did you fail at making a light bulb 2,000 times? And he simply said, I didn't fail at making a light bulb 2,000 times. I found 2,000 ways to not make a light bulb. So I gave it some thought, and I realized that I should go back to school, but I should figure out what I wanted to do. I should turn the impossible into the possible. So I wound up enrolling in my community college. I felt pumped. I was super excited until I got to that first class. I sat down at 25 years old in a row of students who were 17, 18 years old, and I was scared. But I realized that I was doing something for myself, not for them. I had a purpose. I had a reason for going back to school. I was going back because it wasn't my first time and it wasn't my second time, but it was why I went back. I knew I was going because I wanted to go for journalism. I wanted to go for photography. I wanted to tell people stories. So I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. And this time I didn't see any bumps in the road ahead. I wound up pulling myself out of my comfort zone, putting myself in a position that I wasn't initially sure I was going to be able to do. And with a little perspective, I was able to switch that situation around, and I was able to do what I didn't think I'd initially be able to do. As I'm back in school, I realized that I'm still making my mom proud. She's still looking down. She's proud of me. I realized that we all have choices in life we have to make. Sometimes we make the right choice, and sometimes we don't. But there is a silver lining to every situation we get into. Sometimes it's just really tough to see. Sometimes it's really hard to see. But we still have to make those choices. But with a little perspective and with some humility, we can take on any obstacle that life throws at us. We can push forward. We can push past. Because being negative is easy, and being positive is difficult. But nothing in life worth having comes easy. They say that life is a journey, And you only live once. But just because you only live once doesn't mean you have to do things right the first time. Thank you.